you must have heard the speech, the things he said. Now, one of the things that impressed me so much about Trump in his inauguration speech is that although the Democrats, Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris, were seated right there with their Obama and all the other squads of the Democratic Party, Trump was not moved by their presence, and he gave it to them as raw as it is, citing how the country has failed and how the world has failed as a result of the administration. You know, somebody who is more civil, somebody who is trying to be more gentle and kind, and whatever you want to call it, would kind of want to hold back some of the criticism of these Democrats as they are sitting down there. But Trump doesn't care. He told them the way it is and went ahead to, highlight the promises that his administration is bringing to America. It takes somebody with enough balls to be able to really stand up in front of all these people. Somebody would say, no, for these people being here to honor the presidency and the inauguration and then to come in there, they might probably said, no, we are going to, be a little bit gentle. We won't tell them the thing the way it is. For Trump, it was not even anything that dissuaded him from telling the things as raw as they are. He gave it to the Democrats straight up, no shying away from the reality. And you could look at the face of Kamala, you could look at the face of Joseph Biden. At a point, I think Joseph Biden brought down his head, and Kamala, I don't know, in my head, I'm kind of looking at like this woman is like as if the ground should just open and swallow her up because she could hardly endure what he was saying. Or probably in their mind, they could just more like say, okay, well, this is just politics, so it doesn't really change anything. Right before their eyes, Donald Trump was dismantling all the things that they have put in place, all their legacies. Right before them, as he was coming up, he was announcing straight away that all the legacies you have, just know for sure that none of them will stand. They will be dismantled immediately. And he said immediately he is going to declare a national emergency at the southern border, right straight ahead. There is no cutting corners. And you see, Donald Trump also brought in something to light that was very, very interesting to watch. He said, as from today in America, there is only two genders, male and female. That is something we need somebody to have that level of guts to say that right in front of them. I think you could see the faces of the people in the building when he made that announcement that there would only be two genders, male and female. In their faces, you look at their faces, it's more like, is he really saying this? Like, isn't he afraid? You need to be scared. Like, in America, it's something that it's happening that if you say anything that is gender sensitive, you'll be cancelled. So there is already this background fear in the minds of people to talk about these gender issues. But Trump doesn't really care. He said it the way it is, and nothing anybody can do about it. That takes a certain level of guts. That is why Donald Trump is the right man for the job. And that is just wonderful. So many things that he was straight up saying it to their faces, agendas that he's going to promote, things that are going to be changed right before the Democrats. And then when you look at Elon Musk, well, some people will say, well, Elon Musk is one of the people that were instrumental to the installation of Trump as the president of America. He announced something that some people may want to interpret it as very injurious to the career of Elon Musk. When he said he's going to revoke the electric bill, I think probably that bill could be one of the things that made it, very, very important to push on electric cars and all of that, so that there will be less fossil fuel, less carbon emission and all of that. Donald Trump was straight up said he is revoking that completely, and we are going to drill, baby, drill. There is going to be drilling of oil. People cannot buy any car they want to buy. It doesn't have to be electric. With that announcement, some people would kind of think, okay, these policies that Donald Trump is bringing might injure his dear friend Elon Musk, because Elon Musk's primary wealth, as many people know, came from Tesla. And with this announcement that Donald Trump has just made, could it be that Tesla's value will fall even more and all of that? And then later on, he said something that we saw Elon Musk jumping, and when he said we are going to put humans on Mars, And of course, that is one of the major agendas of Elon Musk, and that has to do with his company SpaceX, which is targeting to put humans on Mars. And for all who know, immediately Trump was announced the president, SpaceX valuation flew, above the roof. It became very, very, very high at that moment. And so even if in one way Tesla may not probably prosper so much under this Trump administration as a result of this new policy of revoking the electric bill and then bringing about mining for, because he said there is gold, the gold, the liquid gold under America. We will mine it and use the money to develop the country. But then the other announcement that he made that has to do with the ambition of America in the long run is going to profit Elon Musk, because his company, and for all that have been following the company, is already flying already. So in a way, you would discover that Trump did all he could to make everybody that supported him happy. North Carolina, and all those places, he was able to address even the blacks that they were trying to weaponize against him, telling them, no, Trump is against you, Trump doesn't like you, Trump is a white supremacist, and all those things they said about Trump. He said America would be a country that does not know color, that is blind to color, meaning his administration is going to be all inclusive. Like, if you listen to that speech of President Donald Trump, you will know this man is out for business. This man is out to do, the real job. It was just, wonderful. Okay, another thing I want to call your attention to in the inauguration of President Donald Trump were the two ministers that came up to lead prayers before President Donald Trump came. A man came first, led prayers, and then we had evangelist Franklin Graham, the son of the great evangelist Billy Graham, who was called later to come and pray. And his prayers captured everything. I think this is a true evangelist. In his prayer, he never wasted the opportunity to present the full gospel of Jesus Christ, not just to the whole nation of America, but to all the dignitaries and all the great people, the great minds that were present in that place. And something very striking, in the whole inauguration of President Donald Trump is you will see gospel songs. Christ was glorified. The name of Christ was lifted. America, whether you like it or not, is the greatest nation in the world today. No country can rub shoulder with them. And of all places, the inauguration of the president of such a country is having the name of Christ and the name of God exalted above every other thing in the center of it. And then where are those people that are claiming they don't believe in God, we are atheists and all of that? A country as civilized as America, with all the great minds there, are calling Christ, honoring God, honoring Christ, with all the richest people in the world in that place. You have Elon Musk there, you have Jeff Bezos there, you have Mark Zuckerberg there, and all of those people are there, and the name of Christ is honored, the name of Christ is glorified. And you in your little corner with your poverty are shouting that God does not exist or God is not there. You need to you just go to the site. If great country like America, with all the knowledge, all the advancement, have God in the center and the name of God is glorified, then you are there sitting in your own corner there and saying everything is evolution, everything is Big Bang, there is no God, nothing came out of nowhere. Something is definitely wrong somewhere. So it's just wonderful. That's my thought anyway. So kudos to evangelist Billy Graham for promoting and crowning and enthroning Christ in such an arena, in such a place, and giving God the glory. And for President Trump for opening the door to the gospel, for the gospel to come back into America. And I was looking at some of those people who, when in their rally, they said, praise the Lord, oh, Jesus is Lord. And they said, probably it's in the other rally. They were sitting down there and Jesus was glorified. And I was looking at the shame as they were disgraced and embarrassed there. There's nothing they could do. Christ is glorified. And it's only tears. Even if there was tears, they couldn't cry it publicly because they rejected Christ and Christ has rejected them. And the Christ they were trying to reject turned out to become Lord in the inauguration service. And they sat down there. Most of the announcement Trump was making, because most of those announcements were contrary to the agendas. They couldn't even stand up. Not until when President Trump spoke about the hostages in Israel coming back. Then you now saw President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris standing up and then clapping. Why are they standing up? They are standing up because they feel it is them that are taking the glory for that. It was achieved in the administration. So it is all credit to them. So the only one that they felt was something that brought credit to them. That was when they now got up and then they started clapping, their hands in that place. Although for everybody that know, it's not really them that brought about this hostage deal that was, that was brought about between Israel and Hamas. It was actually the coming of Trump that actually, it pioneered or engineered the response, the positive response that we have so far seen. And President Trump said something very important. He said, we are not starting wars. We want to be known as an administration that keep peace, that we end the wars and then we don't involve ourselves in any wars. And you still see all of them, they are sitting down there angry. They just couldn't show the anger because those are some of the things that are the agenda, some of the things that they promote. You have somebody that have sorry to say this, President Obama, he just have nice speech. You are trying to please everybody. The world doesn't need somebody that is trying to play nice, Mr. Nice Man in everybody's good book. It takes somebody that has the guts to do what ought to be done. Majority of times, people know what they are supposed to do, but because they are trying to please others or they are afraid of others or all of that, they don't do what they ought to do. And President Trump has come out to do the right thing that was to be done. For those who have followed, you remember what Mark Zuckerberg said about this issue of censorship. He said he was threatened in those times, and that is why they were censoring such certain things. Some of those politicians will come up to, try to bully them into censoring some of the things that they did not consider, to be palatable or to rhyme with their own agendas. And then now that he saw President Trump winning, he's now coming out to tell us that, okay, it means the guy never had the guts to do the right thing. Even as at then, when they were pressuring him to enact those censorship, he knew it was wrong. But to protect his interest and his profit, he never did it until now he came to do it. President Trump came and said the era of trying to censor people and stop free speech has come to an end. My administration, it's going to be a new leaf. And Mark Zuckerberg was there, of course, and all those guys that were responsible for the censorship, that were weaponizing the Justice Department and, using everything to suppress others. They were there. There's nothing they can do. And then you remember he spoke about some of the serving members, the military personnel that were dropped from the military as a result of their stance on refusing to take the COVID vaccine. They were, evicted from the military. President Trump said as of immediately, they are going to be reinstated and they will be paid with arrears, backlog of all the years they have, they have evicted them out of the military. This is wow. This is wonderful. Like you can't watch what's happening in America now. You won't like it. A new era has indeed come, for America. And some people will say, no, he will just talk. He just talk. He won't act. If you know President Trump well, he's not just a man of words. He's a man of action. Of course, although there are times where he also kind of, say things that are not really true, as the case may be into politics. But he's a man that does what he says he will do. So America, it's a new beginning. And those people that said they were going to relocate from America because Trump has won, those celebrities, what are you still doing in America? It's time to relocate. He has been sworn in. You threatened, some of you were busy barbing and shaving your head and said, no, we are protesting, we are angry, you want to relocate and leave, change another country. What are you still doing in America? We have been waiting to see when you would relocate. So it's time now. President Trump is now in power. It's high time for you to relocate. Since you don't like righteousness, you like iniquity. Let's see. In fact, I have an advice for you. Since you don't want to stay in America, I have an advice for you where you should go to and relocate to Afghanistan. Just relocate to Afghanistan and let's see whether you'll be able to come and be all this freedom that you are enjoying in America. You are shouting, protesting and all of that. Relocate to Afghanistan. Somebody said some of these American people, they are like children that because their parents stop them from doing something that in the long run might even be harmful to them, in protest they would leave their parents' home and become homeless children. Do you know what homeless people are going through? as they are homeless. And you have a roof, you have a home, you have freedom. Only that they said this thing is not right for you. And then you protest and go homeless. Stay there for a while, then you will see the difficulty of a homeless life. America has abused its freedom. That is just the truth. And there is something President Trump said that is very important. He said, our university children, we love them, we care for them, and then they brought certain knowledge and things to, turn their hearts against us. And then they look at us as their greatest enemies. American teens, university people, high school students, all those woke cultures that they have been indoctrinated with, that now they said we are banning TikTok in America because of national security, a threat to national security, because we suspect that, okay, China may have something to do with it. And then what are you doing as American kids, teens and all of that? They are now completely leaving TikTok. In fact, in protest, they are now going to go and download an app that is fully run by Chinese government in protest. Then what are you doing? You think China likes you, you think there is freedom in China, and then some of them will even come up in our app and say, we love President Xi, we love the Chinese government. Why not relocate from America? Go and stay in China. And then stay there and see whether America was not 3 or 4 or even 5 times better than the China that you are talking about, just because you were denied something. That is childishness. Childishness is disturbing most of these high school students in America. They think they are enlightened. They think they are knowledgeable. They think they are intelligent, not knowing in reality that it's childishness that is disturbing you. That your country is telling you this app, we are seeing that there is a problem, national security threat. And then in protest to the government, you decide to say we go back to China, because whatever it is, even if it is our data that is being sold, that is being manipulated, even our government is doing that. Your government is probably doing that, yes, but the other party you are trying to hand over those data to, do you think they are going to do better to you? They will treat you better than your government? At least whatever your government does, there is a certain level of your interest that is being defended. That is why I said this high school, whatever garbages that they are feeding these American kids is making them to become more and more childish and immature. Immaturity is one of the things that is disturbing most of these college students in America. Well, President Trump is back to power. He said we are not going to use our taxpayers' money to fund an education system that is going to raise breed of young people that will now be fighting our own country and hate our country and hate us. We use taxpayers' money, fund education, and then what do they do in the education? They go and train and teach those students values that will now make them to become our enemies. No more. And we are watching to see how that is going to be done. It's a new dawn for America. Like I said, if you don't like it, please, especially those who have been protesting, they want to relocate, you want to go back anywhere, it's time to relocate now. I have a suggestion for where you should relocate to: Afghanistan. Just try and go there, live there for 2-3 months, and let's see whether you won't come back and be grateful. Even if the freedom in America is divided into 3, and that is what is left, you will still be happier to stay in America than to stay there. So that's my take anyways. I don't know what you think about all this. You can drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you will be notified when I post another video like this. Thank you and see you in the next video.